All right, welcome to the Small Market Podcast. I'm your host AJ Hoffman. I'm joined by my co-host Andrew Watucky. How you doing, Watucky?
Doing pretty good, Hoffman.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna waste no time. We've got a special guest on the show today, Mr. Jack McDowell or Black Jack McDowell. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing okay today. It's actually my
Cool.
birthday today.
It
Well,
is
happy
your,
birthday.
Yeah.
it's your birthday. Thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate it.
All righty. Thanks for hooking me up.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah. So we're gonna kind of just make this pretty casual and stuff. If there's anything that you don't, you can curse if you want to. So no worries there. If there's anything you don't want to talk about, you and I didn't get a chance to chat real quick. But if there's anything you don't want to talk about, totally cool. Okay.
Whatever you guys want.
All right, man. All right. So you want to talk about music first, or do you want to talk about baseball first?
Whichever you guys want to talk about.
All right, cool. So, well, I'm a musician myself, so I'm kind of interested in more of your music stuff. And Andy, I mean, we're both huge baseball fans, and watched you growing up in the '90s. Beating up on our Tigers and all that.
Yeah.
So, and always getting your baseball cards. So, kind of fans. But first of all, I want to start off with talking about you. You got the chance to tour with the Smithereens. Do you have any tour stories about being on the road with them for a little bit?
Yeah, it was fun stuff to be able to get in with the real dudes when we were just starting up being rock and roll dudes trying to get it going. And, you knew that there was going to be a lot of people there to watch because they were there.
Yeah. Now, how long had been in your, how long had you been around prior to that, to getting on that tour?
Oh, not very long. I mean, we kind of just started for a couple of years of doing music and getting the CDs done and all that. And then it was kind of hard because doing the baseball, think about it, you got preseason and then the season. There's not a lot of time for us to just keep doing that type of stuff where we're going out and doing shows and all that. Occasionally during the season, we could do maybe one or two. Luckily, we have an off day so we can go do this thing. That was about it.
Was there ever an urge, like after a game, like even an early afternoon game, like, hey, let's go play a club right now?
Yeah, it didn't work so much that time. Yeah,
I figured probably not.
All the work you had to do, all the lifting and all that stuff, is like when you're done out of the baseball stuff, you gotta go home and sleep.
Yeah, that's true. You're not gonna want to be lugging around equipment and stuff.
Yeah, right. And actually, lifting the guitars and stuff like that, and guys getting sore elbows and shoulders and all that. I was lucky that was something that I could help guitarists with because I knew how to get my shoulders and all this forearm strengths, because that's what you do when you're a thrower. You got to get all this different works in and things like that, so you aren't getting sore and all that. So I get to be that too.
I imagine you're like me, and you've got too many guitars in your basement or in your home. I'm up to about, I think, 9 working and 12 if we're including some non-working ones. How many guitars you got?
This funny one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. So I got this when I was playing for who?
The Indians,
the Indians. And the reason is I got this for free because you look, the Gibson guitar player people gave me this guitar for free because they were building what's built in Cleveland there, the Hall of Fame. The whole Music Hall of Fame thing. They were starting to do that here, and they said, "Here, you're a musician. Here, you can have this." And they put this thing on there. But nowadays, you can't have that.
No,
it's no longer the Indians.
Yeah, you can't have that. Well, before they went away, I went out and I bought a hat for myself. Even though I'm not an Indians fan, I was like, "Well, you're not going to be able to get these anymore. I better get one." So,
if I do that, they're like, "Oh, what do you have that for?" Well, Indians. Now, it's the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about this one? Have you guys ever seen this card? This baseball card? Me
No.
no.
playing guitar. Look, on the back of it, oh yeah, there's my baseball stuff.
What year is that, Jack?
Not probably like 92 or 3, something like that. Because it just says
Okay.
Jack McDowell, guitarist, in the sidelines. And that was
Nice.
a funny baseball card that came out.
Yeah.
It was me playing, and that was during a show in Chicago that we played. The
Nice.
picture of
Nice.
it and gave the, now, oh, you have a baseball card.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. Do you ever collect any of your own cards or anything?
Oh, yeah. You see all these back up here behind me?
Yeah.
That's a lot
No,
of
barely, but
all
yeah.
my cards. And the reason is, if you go back and look, when they made your cards for baseball, they would send you a big chunk of all the ones that they just did. And so I have a bunch of
Oh,
them
nice.
here, but I've also got all the kids. I can give them all the cards, and if they want to give them to friends, things
Yeah.
like that, I'll sign them and give them to their friends. So it's kind of cool. So all the baseball coaching that I'm doing, a lot of little league stuff that I'm with, and all that. And they're with, oh, this guy was a major league player, cool. So you can give them all the signed cards, and they'd love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is pretty cool. So, Jack, like, who would you say, as far as music goes, your top three musical influences growing up?
Well, I mean, growing up, it was the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, because that's what the huge stuff was going on. And we were growing up in the '60s and things like that. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
Beatles stuff is what I got into. And then, you keep going along, and I got to meet Eddie Vedder with Pearl Jam back in the '90s. So that was
Oh, yeah.
We heard about that.
funny because his past ex-wife and my past ex-wife, where they were known together, and that's how I got to meet him. And it was really as Pearl Jam thing was starting, but before it had already started. So we got to meet and talk about music and listen to some of the stuff we've both done, and then got to see how great those guys and how huge they got to be.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that you had met prior to them blowing up.
Yeah, right about as it was. Funny because I have a thing over there. I got a reward from the Pearl Jam thing because before it actually started, I had some of the songs on like CDs and stuff like that. So in Chicago, I went to radio stations and said, "Here, you should start playing this because, man, this is going to be huge coming up." And it did. And they started playing a ton of it. And so that actually made it really big quickly. So that was good. They were very happy that I did that for them.
That's cool. That was their 10 album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. Very, very cool. It's uh speaking of them, if you Google Jack McDowell, it inevitably comes up like you and Eddie Vedder were in some sort of barroom brawl. There's very little about it. Do you want to talk about that, or like give us
Oh,
give
the
us
thing.
inside
Yeah.
baseball? Like what happened, man?
I don't even know what the reasoning was behind all that they were going after him in this place. They,
Was this before Pearl Jam blew up, or after? I mean, I gotta imagine it was after, right?
yeah, it was while they were just going. Yeah.
Okay.
So
There's
yeah,
just some
weird,
guys in
weird
a bar.
stuff that happened. But that guy that ended up doing it and coming after him and then coming after both of us, he ended up down the road of getting busted by the cops.
Okay.
Gosh, interesting. Okay. Um, so some news came out today. I hate to bring it down, but that the great Bob Uecker just passed. Do you have any stories about Uecker at all?
Not a ton of them, no.
Okay. What about Carlton Fisk? I know you pitched to him. He's a Hall of Famer. He seems like a pretty charismatic dude. What was he like?
Oh, it was very cool because back in that day of him calling the pitches, and all that. And I remember it was wait. It was 19. Yeah, the first time it was like 3 years into it. I never shook my head on one of his calls, and I don't want to throw that pitch. I want to throw this pitch. And then 3 years in, I remember the first time that I did that, and we come in at the end of at the end of the one, and he goes, "Why did you shake your head on that one finally?" And I said, "Oh, I just want you to start doing this now because I'm throwing this type of pitch, and so let's go, mix it up and this and that." But it was just learning so much, and then you get smart about learning and doing that. What about nowadays, though? They don't care about you making a pitch to pitch adjustment about what you need to do, how you're going to pitch. I'm not feeling good with this pitch right now, so I need to, make an adjustment or do this and that. But now all they care about is your velocity, which is ridiculous.
Well, yeah, there's baseball has definitely taken a little bit of a turn there from when I was younger, Jack. Just as a viewer, strikeouts are up, like home run. I don't know where it's like feast or famine. They're either hitting a home run or they're hitting a strikeout.
It would be so much fun to be pitching right now, especially launch angle swings. Let's do it this way.
Yeah,
I tell the little kids that want to do it. Oh, I just want to hit home runs. I want to do it. That ain't how you hit the home runs, dude. You just square it up. It doesn't matter. If the pitch is down right at your knees or below your knees, then you get that launch angle because that's how you got to get down there to go get it. But if it is, mid-thigh to waist, and you do that, man, foul up, foul balls. And think about how much we're seeing right now of lazy foul balls, lazy pop-ups, and just all crazy fly balls to the outfield. It's just the way it is. And I don't understand all this stuff. It's all about the metrics, but you know what? Why aren't the metrics actually going, oh, okay, well, these guys are only hitting 180, so why would we do this? That doesn't make any sense. One home run as opposed to 5 runs we can get just by getting a base hit or just putting the ball in play. It's funny because that's one of the things that I told the Little League dudes last year. My youngest son is now 12 years old. It'll be his last Little League year. And so I'll be back in doing that stuff now. And I don't know if you've known that how they do a lot of the talk and laughing during the games and stuff, that they say stuff. So I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. And I used the Burger King song. And I said, okay, guys, if there's other players and they're in scoring position, second or third base, no walks and no Ks, no BBs, no Ks, just put it in play. You rule. That's what I told them. I said, I know. It says no BBs, no Ks, just put it in play. You rule.
Yeah, that's something that'll stick with them though as they get older. I bet they'll look back and they'll reminisce on that.
Yeah, a guy on second or a guy on third. All you got to do is just put it in play sometimes, and it goes in. You get an RBI. Yay, that's good.
Jack, who do you think is responsible for all these metrics? Like, who's pushing this? Is this coming from the big offices?
How is it that every single major league team has gone that direction with like the stupidness of the catchers down on one knee doing all this stuff, and everybody watches it and goes, "Why? That's so crazy! Look at all the balls it gets by." And now that you're dropping the glove up and yanking the glove, the one thing that I've never heard too many people talk about is, as a pitcher, back in our day, they'd call the pitch and then wait, and then you'd go up and okay, here's where I want it. Dot that glove. Dot it right there. That's where you want to go. And then if you missed, then you get an idea of, oh, okay, well, I was just this far off. Now, how are you supposed to visually know when they do this yank thing and yank it all over the place, trying to cheat the umpires? That's all that is cheating umpires. And it's ridiculous. Just catch the ball and let the pitchers be able to go, okay, I see where it went now, and now here's the adjustment I need to make, and that's something good. I don't know. That I don't understand.
so like I get what you're saying. They eventually, I think baseball wants to move towards like automatic strike zones, like where they have like I don't want to say the robots, but like like robotic umpires basically, where the strike zone is what it is, and there's some sort of camera or something that's basically saying what's a ball and what's a strike. Who do you think that's going to
ask so many umpires and players and things like that? I said, okay, yeah, you see that now. You see the little square thing.
Yeah.
Okay, where is that? Is that in the front of home plate? Is it behind home plate? Where are they actually showing you that this pitch went? Because you'll see where the guy catches it, and then it's not where the thing is. And so, okay, so what are they saying? What exactly is a strike supposed to be? Is it supposed to be as it crosses the plate, or where it ends up, or what is and I haven't heard too many people talk about that. What's an actual strike?
Right. There's a lot of variables in that when you start to really, when you take it away from the umpire's discretion, and you're trying to really write into the law based upon the robots or whatever you want to call it, like, yeah, then there's starts to get to be a lot of questions where you're taking it from the front, from the back, from the middle, and
well, like growing up.
Have either of you seen the robotic in AAA?
No, I have not.
Okay, they've had it at certain situations just to see how they'll see how this is going to work and this and that, and you can totally see, and it's happening right now. Curveballs that knock that thing where it's in front of home plate. So if the curveball just touches it, it can go boom and hit home plate. So how is a guy going to hit if that is a strike? So how crazy, and they've shown that too now that's a strike now. Throw a curveball that lands on home plate. How are you supposed to hit that?
Yeah, well, and like growing up and learning the game, it was always like I was taught it's shoulders to knees. No matter who the hitter was.
Yeah, now it's fairly even. They don't even go up to your waist now. It's like it's really smaller now. But back in our day, when it used to be, you could have a strike that was up here.
Mm-hmm.
That disappeared around my time. Yeah. I remember. You can go back and look at videos that I put on. Videos that I put, and they showed my pitching, and it's like, okay, waist high. No, it's just got to be below. And that's now, if you look at the squares that they put up for the robot vision, it is kind of mid thigh to knee. So it's a real small zone. But I'm sure if it's right as it hits, hopefully, like, okay, if it's where he catches it, have him sit like 15 feet behind home plate then and see what happens. If it's going to be that crazy, why wouldn't you make adjustments like that? Okay, if we can really make this happen, they could make something weird like that happen.
Yeah.
Here, have you seen this funny shirt that I made too? The blackjack carving station. And I have the carving station on the corner. Hit the corner.
I like it. That's nice.
Yeah, and I show all the little kids, this is where you want to try to be able to throw. Right down the middle, you better duck because it's going to come right back at you. One side or another. If you get a little movement, we'll throw it from one corner to one corner. That's the way you want to do it. Because as a hitter now, I mean, I should be a hitting coach. Why shouldn't I be a hitting coach? Because I know how you get hit. When you're a pitcher, you know how you can get hit on certain specific pitch areas. Nowadays, though, with this launch angle type swing thing they're trying to teach, that is not an adjustment as to where the pitch is. Think about it. If it's down low, you got to go get it down low. If it's up high, you got to square it up. You can't just do this,
Yeah.
Now, when pitches go side to side, fastballs go movement this way. Yeah, so okay, if you're going to do this launch angle swing, the ball moves. That's why you're fouling off. But if you go this way, you can hit it, contact, 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 and it might go a little different angle, but you square it up and go. I'm going to go back
Yeah.
and show you all the crushed home runs that I got just off of that type of a swing back in the day.
How are you as a batter?
I was okay, but I got made a pitcher only right in college.
Okay.
And it's so funny because, back in the day, I say, hey, I played Major League Baseball for this long and no pitcher ever got me out. In spring training, I got to go out there and, you didn't get to work at hitting, but in spring training, if you went to the National League type, if we were American League the whole time, and if we went to a National League team, we had to be the pitcher. There were no, you had to be the hitter. I did okay. So
I wasn't sure if you were like known as a good like hitting pitcher.
I wish I could have gone to the National League occasionally. Be able to hit and have
now I can't believe I can't believe I'm asking you this, but was there any hitter that ever intimidated you?
Oh, a lot of them. Just you didn't know what to do. Tried to make your adjustments, man.
No, go ahead and name drop a little bit. If you
here was one was Ripken too. I didn't want to come inside with him at all because I didn't want him to hit him or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I could imagine you played with Frank Thomas. I'm sure I'd be like, man, I'm glad he's on our team. I wouldn't want to throw a ball anywhere near that guy. Thomas is just so huge.
And you go back and look at when the first time that after they traded me to the Yankees and then they beat me up in New York and I got booed crazy and then I flipped them off. Everyone knows that now because they embarrassed me. They embarrassed me by booing so much. I'm like, oh, this is a team that traded me. You think I'm not trying to win, but go back and look, Frank crushed me that game too.
Well, Yankees fans, I mean, I went to a Yankees game. I went to New York and, just to say that I've been to a Yankees game, and they're the worst. I think it was Torres. Torres had an error. He dropped like a routine pop-up, but there's guys just screaming all sorts of stuff. And I'm just like, there's kids around, and I guess that brings me to a question, like being out there as an athlete, like where's the line get drawn? Like, I know like their justification is, the guy that's sitting there down in 6 beers and 3 hot dogs is like, oh, I paid for my ticket. I should be able to say what I want. But I mean, at some point, there's got to be a break point. Like,
well, yeah. And like a good example too is like World Series where Mookie Betts is almost getting like assaulted, mid game, right?
Yeah.
Like
if you don't get it exactly done every single time, aren't they aware that we're trying as hard as we can and working as hard as we can to do what we can? The other thing is a lot of the booing all across the whole thing has done the one change of pickoff throws. Because if you threw a pickoff throw and the guy was safe, boo, everyone would boo. So weird.
Yeah.
And that's why that game change thing happened. We're now, the pickoff things, you're not allowed to do the same type of stuff as we did back in our day. So how it should be so much easier to steal bases all the time right now.
Since you brought it up, like when that flip off incident happened, like was there any like premeditation to it, like I'm gonna do it, or was it just instinctual, like whatever?
Oh, it just as I was being taken out of the game and just the craziest boos I've ever got in my whole career. And because it was playing against the White Sox and they just traded me. I'm like, that was embarrassing to me, so much embarrassing that I just reacted to that. Wasn't the reaction I probably should have had though. Yeah.
Did your teammates or manager or anybody, I can't remember who the manager was at the time. I imagine it was maybe Showalter. But did they talk to you afterwards, or were they just like, Jack's hot, let's leave him alone and not talk to him. I mean, how's
Yeah.
that out in the locker room afterwards?
They just said, "Oh, you're we're gonna have to deal with this. The fans aren't all mad at you about it." I said, "Oh, yeah, I will. I'll talk to the people that we need to talk to about, the reasoning that I was just overly embarrassed and I'm still trying really hard and doing really good. And,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what we were trying to do."
at least they're like, I mean, it's always surprising as a fan, like hearing about that later on, that how supportive or how positive your team is afterwards. You know, like as fans, you think like, what the hell, man? You're gonna give your teammate a hard time or ream them or whatever, and you forget. Like, I mean, you're already feeling it. You're embarrassed. You're pissed off. You're frustrated. There's no talk really needs to happen other than just like, hey, you'll get them next time. That kind of thing. Um, I, do you follow the White Sox at all now?
A little bit. I'm living in Charlotte right now.
Right.
So the AAA is there. I keep trying to contact to say, could there be any coaching stuff I can do to just be right here and do it? They won't.
Yeah.
They won't. They won't hire me. Let me do it. It's funny because the nowadays situation with the players from back in my day, not a lot of us are allowed to do it. And me and Mattingly were with the Dodgers, and they went and they fired every single person when they
Yeah.
changed their thing. It wasn't just me and him. It was the entire major league, the entire minor league thing. Everybody was fired out of there because we didn't agree with these movements that they were making.
Oh, okay. So it's more like political than anything. There isn't really there's not a whole lot of reasoning behind any of that.
Behind what?
Behind like I mean, like, I guess to me, you living in Charlotte, if there's a minor league team there for the Sox, why not bring back Blackjack McDowell to be a pitching coach or something? It's just good PR. You'll fill the stands with people just wanting your autograph and stuff. Like what?
I can see the BP pitcher too.
Yeah,
a lot of BPs for all the little league dudes now.
Yeah, yeah. Like why not?
Are pitch counts really important? As I'm sitting here throwing 320 throws, but trying to do the whole team batting practice.
Yeah,
pitch counts really matter? No.
Well, and like that's kind of my follow up. Was going to be my original follow up. Is like they can't do any worse. I mean, especially the White Sox are coming off another historically bad season. I would be trying to draw all the help I could possibly get. Bring back a guy like you who's just nothing but like intimidation, honestly. And just one of the scariest pitchers of your time. Like I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I guess like so when they let everybody go, that's just basically because people didn't want to get on board with the metrics? Because I've noticed that a lot of ball players and fans included from that era are pretty against all the metrics. They don't think they're really helping baseball. So is that why they kind of cleaned house? Like the politics of it?
I don't know it's fine to have metrics to be able to predict certain things and this and that, but to have the entire game controlled over those predetermined stuff is ridiculous. And it's all predetermined. We're only going to allow the pitchers to throw 4 innings today. And they've done that. Oh, but he has a no-hitter going through 7 innings. No, we got to have him out because we predetermined he's only going this many innings. That's about winning? No. Winning is just about letting what happens and see what goes on, not predetermined stuff.
Well, yeah, you're basically removing the manager from doing his job because he's got to make a gut call. If you're gonna leave a guy out there and ride him till the end, or if you're gonna but if you're looking at just the numbers, well, then he doesn't have to think. He doesn't have to make the decisions. They're already made for him. And I think it takes away the fun of the game.
Well, here's the other funny thing too that I've taught about velocity. Everything is just velocity now. You know that they're doing it different than back in our day. That it's a different. It's like an
Also,
8 or 9 miles an hour faster the way that they're doing it on the same type of pitch. Because back in our day, they would record it as it was crossing home plate just about. Now it's right the first thing out of your hand. Boom, right away. That's how, and then it's like a 7 or 8 mile an hour difference. But here's the thing. Math, am I a mathematician? No, but I'll do the math, and I did the math. Okay, 10 miles per hour difference from a 55 feet, which is the reality. What's the difference between throwing 100 miles an hour to 90 miles an hour from the same release point from a 55 feet timing? It's a 6-inch difference of when the ball gets there. 6 inches. So you can still hit it and hit it. You know, it's a 6-inch difference, which is why a changeup back in our day, you wanted it to be 25 less than your fastball. Now you know why. Oh, because okay, if it's not just 10 miles per hour difference, it's a 25 miles per hour difference. So if you're a 90, you know, a 92 mile an hour thrower and you want to throw a changeup at 70, that's what you want to try to do, because now now that's a 6-inch, 12 minutes, so that's this much of a difference. That's why you get bad swings and out in front missing or all that stuff. That is what the reality is. I mean, is that not real?
couple that with couple that with the angle of the swings that they want. No wonder there's so many strikeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah. What are you working on music wise now? Are you in any bands or anything right now?
well, just doing. I don't really have a band anymore overall. So the last CD that I did was just me working on the garage band thing on the computer, and my Steinberg stuff right here that I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff through and all that, and I'm playing all the different things music wise and all that. And I did do a super funny song. It's not on a CD or anything yet, but the name of it is Mr. Saber, and it's about sabermetrics.
I love it.
And Mr. Saber, it's time for you to go. And it's all this stuff. It's a funny, funny song. I gotta send you guys that song. Because it's a funny song about all the baseball stuff we've been talking about. Like, okay, Mr. Saber, it's time for you to go. We got to do all this different stuff. Back that actually you want to try to win or not. I feel like if they would just put a bunch of us old dummies back in there to coach and to teach and to actually promote how things are supposed to go, it'd be so much easier to win games than what's going on in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. To me, it seems like a crime that you're not in coaching like minor leagues or anything like that, but because you got a lot of insight to offer, and yeah. So is there anything you want to promote, Jack? Anything you got coming up or anything in the pipeline right now?
Well, I like signing CDs too. I got a bunch of CDs left over. Here's all of my CDs.
Heck yeah.
Like 7 total. 7 total CDs are the ones that we've had over the years and all that. And, to sell, I'll sell signed CDs to people. If they want a bunch, it's a lot cheaper, and it's never as much as actual CD stuff. I'll sign it for you, man, and you can listen to all my music. So I'm hoping people can listen to some of the music because, I didn't have any hits back then, but it's the same thing. Do you remember what hits were from? Only if the people that had you paid all the money, paid all the money for them to play it on the things and let it go and play all the stuff, and so I didn't get a lot of that done.
I was listening to a little bit of you last night and listening to some Stick Figure today before you got on the show. So, we're enjoying it. We're rocking out to you. So, it's very cool.
Yeah, I got some new cool songs. I'm just trying to, I'm not sure whether I'm just going to create a new CD or just keep doing it and keep doing music and see what goes on. You're gonna have
Yeah.
people that, might enjoy it though, but they
Oh,
don't. A lot of people don't know about it, don't know any of the songs really or any of that stuff because they haven't heard it on the radio because no one paid the radios to keep playing it for me.
Well, where can they listen to
Check it out.
Jack? Where can they listen to your stuff? Is it on Spotify or YouTube? Do you put stuff out on like this next one? You're gonna put it out on your Facebook? Like how can people
hear you?
Sometimes I put a couple things on Facebook, things just of our shows back in the day. There's a couple videos that I've had of that I've put on there. But I can add
Cool.
I can add songs just to, someone wants to text me a message, I can put a little song on there that'll go.
Well, if you ever put out a new CD or anything, we'll promote the heck out of it because you got a couple fans here in Michigan that love you. So yeah.
Yeah, if they want a signed CD, just contact me and we can talk about it and see how many you might want or which exact one you might want and check out.
Sounds good. Well, Jack, we don't want to hold you up any longer on your birthday. Happy birthday again. Thank you for joining us and giving us your time today. As three-time All-Star and 1993 Cy Young Award winner, Mr. Jack McDowell, Blackjack.
There it is. All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Jack. We'll talk to you later, okay?
All righty.
All right, see ya.